We've obviously gotten to, work together many times. And we did Alias and Lost, and we worked on the Star Wars movie, Force Awakens, and the experience with you, especially on the Star Wars movie, it was clearly a different thing because this was a big deal, it was a big purchase, it was a big, What I found in working with you is that your love for this thing went far beyond the fact that it was a big purchase. It was something that you really cared about. Can you just talk about what Star Wars means to you, and not just as the person who now is sort of overseeing these with Kathy Kennedy, but as a fan?
Well, like so many people, I remember when I saw Star Wars for the first time at a movie theater on the west side of Manhattan in 1977, when I was 26 years old. I went to see it alone, actually. And I remember coming out and having just an incredible feeling inside that something had changed. It was breakthrough, in my opinion, in terms of not just the storytelling, but George's use of technology and the tools that technology provide him to tell a story in a far more compelling way, as a for instance. And it left this powerful feeling within me that it was really special. So I became a fan. Now, I was not the avid fan that I've now come to observe and appreciate today, in that I didn't necessarily have the time to indulge myself in full Star Wars fandom the way so many people do, which just amazes me and something I really appreciate. But I certainly was a very, very avid fan of what George had accomplished and of the art form that, not that he necessarily created, but that he took to a new level.
Got him! I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
When we worked on the movie, your involvement was, it was a terrific collaboration. It was incredible fun. Your collaborative style with notes and ideas and iterations, and obviously there were so many iterations of the movie. It felt effortless for me working with you in a way that was kind of great.
That's very nice. That's very nice of you.
No, it's true, and we're on camera. No, it is true. My question is, how much is that the norm for you on other projects?
In my particular case, and I remember you and I having dinner together around the time you had either just decided you were doing this or you were considering it, and I reminded you that it was a $4 billion acquisition. I think it was $4.05 billion.
Well, you said it, but you said
I rounded it down.
You said this is a $4 billion movie.
That's right, exactly. And I said, this is a $4 billion movie. You may be going off and spending
That's why I paid for
a few $100 million here and there. Yes, exactly. We had good wine, I remember that.
I remember when you said that, I was like, oh, dear God.
Well, I think what I was trying to say to you was two things. Okay. Listen, kid, this isn't just any movie.
Yeah, loud and clear, yeah.
It's big responsibility. That's sort of the father in me, maybe. And by the way, you have a great dad who I used to work with. So
thank you so much.
I wasn't necessarily trying to play surrogate there.
No, please.
But I was trying to say that to you, and I was also trying to telegraph to you, I don't know that I was necessarily particularly subtle about it, that because of the size of the acquisition and what this first film represented in terms of importance and value creation, that you can expect that it's not going to be treated like any old film by Disney. Not to mention a presidential candidate, but why not? It takes a village. Hillary Clinton wrote a book, I think it was called It Takes a Village. It does take a village. This company isn't really run by one person. It's run by a collection of people that whose input and contribution are considerable. And so I don't do it all.
Yeah, whatever.
I take my spots because I try to decide if I make decisions based on a few things. First of all, what's important to the company. That was Star Wars, the first film, incredibly important. If that gets off on a bad foot, or whatever they say, that badness is going to last a long time. And the acquisition would be criticized, et cetera, and so on. I mean, there's a good story and a bad story. We ended up with, I think, a great story. If it is great, then the halo effect of that, not just on the bottom line of the company, but on the perception of the company, is huge.
Yeah, it had to work bigly.
It did.
And I say bigly,
yeah.
just to bring up another presidential candidate, but yeah.
Well, it had to, but I think we owed it to the fans of Star Wars, we owed it to George Lucas, we owed it to the shareholders of the Walt Disney Company. And so, I try to pick my spots based on, first of all, what's important. Secondly, where I think I can contribute. Where can I add some value? Because I can't add any value I shouldn't be involved. And then, I also am fortunate that now 11 years into this job, I do have the luxury of making some decisions based on sometimes my own personal preferences, what I prefer to spend time on in a given day. I know there's something frivolous sounding about that, but we all we're human beings, we need to get energized by things that we're involved with. We need to get excited about things, and what could be more exciting? And again, I thought in this particular case, there was a need for someone to be the so-called steward of Star Wars and the brand on behalf of the company. And given the fact that the decision to buy Star Wars was initially mine, and how much this represented, I thought, why not self-appoint myself as steward of the Star Wars brand?
This is our chance.